Wala masyadong kuskus-balungus po during the budget hearing ng Office of the Vice President. Ang opisina ni Vice President Sara Duterte kaninang umaga po. Everything ran smoothly, although mayroon dalawang opposition senator, members sa minority, they asked a question and si Inday Sara Duterte po also gave her waive her rights, no? Yung mga traditional practice dyan po sa hearing ng budget for 2026 po, na they don't ask question when it comes to the budget hearing ng presidente at saka ng vice president. Pero kanina, si Inday Sara Duterte, ang vice president natin po dyan sa Pilipinas, nag-waive siya po and she said she's willing to accept any questions, no? Any questions or deliberation po. But despite of that po, everything ran smoothly and okay na po ang budget ng Office of the Vice President for 2026. And if remember right, wala din problema sa budget ng presidente, no? Si President Ferdinand Marcos for the year 2026 po. Walang problema. Nag-increase a little bit ang budget ni Inday Sara Duterte, no? And at least we can now expect na additional services coming from the office of the Vice President. Kumusta kayo po, mga kapatid ko, mga kababayan ko, not only dito po sa Malaysia, dito po sa Sabah, specifically dito po sa Kota Kinabalu, but also ang mga overseas Filipino workers po sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo. Ibang parte ng mundo. Ano po sa mga kababayan natin po dyan sa Pilipinas. Narinig natin, I would like to congratulate hindi lang mga Filipinos dito po sa Malaysia, but ang mga kababayan natin po dyan sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo, mga overseas Filipino workers, maganda po na ang balita na rinig ko po kaninang umaga during sa mainstream media news reports po na ang sabihin natin ang remittances coming from the overseas Filipino workers po this year po. Hindi po natapos ang year natin, 2025, pero naabot na tayo po something like 3 point something trillion po remittance natin po sa Pilipinas. Ibig sabihin, as what I keep on saying, malaki talaga ang contribution natin po, mga overseas Filipino workers, which no less than our former president, si President President Rodrigo Roa Duterte described ang mga overseas Filipino workers as the modern heroes of the country po. Whether we like it or not po, kailangan ang gobyerno natin na be it whoever the president po, be it Duterte, be it Marcos, or whoever po, no? Ang remittances ng mga overseas Filipino workers plays a very important role sa nation natin po. When we talk about a very important role po, mayroon din tayo ngayon. Very important role to play. Very important role to play. Tayong lahat mga Filipinos, be it dyan po sa Pilipinas, be it dito sa Malaysia, be it sa ibang parte ng mundo po, we have a very, very important role or vital role to play. Itong issue natin po, itong problema natin po sa Pilipinas, ang korupsyon. Ang korupsyon. Ano ang role natin po? Ang role natin is to be united. Kung hindi tayo united po in solving this problem po, I don't think so. Ang nation natin, ang Pilipinas, will progress. Instead of progressing po, we will go down to the ditch. So, we don't want that thing to happen. Anyway, September 16 ngayon, and today is Tuesday. Dito sa Malaysia, we are still on holiday, dahil we are celebrating Merdeka Day or Malaysian Day po. This is the day wherein we form ang Malaysia Federation po, wherein combine na po ang Sabah at saka ang federal government natin. Shoutout muna tayo kay Mary Lou Pentojo, who is watching itong programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk, o The Real Talk with Nico, on a Tuesday morning. Okay na, kumpisa tayo ang araw dito po sa Kota Kinabalu. Wala nang ulan or ujan or rain po, no? For the past few days, we experienced continuous rain, and because of that, the continuous rain po, we are facing some flash flood problems in some areas po, especially dito po sa lugar ko po, sa Penampang District. Most of the areas dito po sa Penampang District are flooded po. But nothing to worry, because our local government, under the leadership of Sabah Chief Minister Dato Sri Haji Nur po, nandyan po. Everybody, mga authorities concerned are nasa labas po, giving assistance, extending whatever assistance to the affected people here po. Not only to the Malaysians, not only to the Sabahans, or anybody, regardless of your nationality. Nandito po ang gobyerno extending assistance in terms of evacuation. We have several evacuation centers were open of recently, and donations of essential goods po, continue to flow. And of course, our local authorities po, sa mga distrito or areas affected by the flood po, nandyan po 24 hours to distribute assistance to the flood victims po. To the flood victims. And no less than our Prime Minister ng Malaysia, si Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim, has, I was made to understand, has already approved another allocations of 10 million yata yun po, funds for upgrading or improving of our flood mitigation programs natin dito po sa Sabah, so that we will not be facing similar problems in the near future. Maganda yan po. Anyway, sige, let's talk about mga topics that I have prepared for you. And just as a reminder po, it's just a matter of another 100 days na lang po. Ano ito? 100 days na lang, and the whole world, especially the Christian community, will be celebrating once again ang merry-making activities or parties po, which we call Christmas. Sa Pilipinas, nag-umpisa na po ang Christmas spirit as early as September 1st. Once the birth month starts, nag-start din po ang Christmas spirit dyan sa Pilipinas. Dito din po sa Malaysia, normally it will be 1 month before the month of December. That will be November. And some will start playing Christmas jingles as early as October po, or next month po, dito sa Malaysia. And of course, dito din po sa Sabah. Ang mga Filipino communities dito po, I'm very sure, nandyan po some of the houses ng mga Filipinos po, mayroon na tayong Christmas decor po, Christmas decor. But dito sa Malaysia, sa Sabah, wala pa tayong mga Christmas decor sa mga business establishments po. Alright? Business establishment. Okay, talking about 100 days. Now, let's talk about another 4 days. Ano yung 4 days po? Apat na tulog na lang po, then we are going to see ang mga Filipinos, not only in the Philippines, but also in other parts of this world, including Sabah po, that they will be participating. Itong expected to be a big rally po sa Pilipinas. Intended para sa mga Filipinos po. Wherein the Filipinos, this time on Sunday, September 21. Today is Tuesday, 16. So it's just a matter of 4 more days po. Then we are expecting a huge crowd dyan po sa Pilipinas, because the Filipinos will be going out to the street and protest, show their anger, show their or our disappointment about what is happening in the Philippines, especially itong graft and corruption problems in the Philippines, which has been there for decades already po, no? For decades. And worse, ngayon po, it's getting worse po. Before, if we have corruption cases po involving hundreds, thousands, hundreds or thousands po, nag-level up na po to lately lang po, yun sa Napoles controversy po or anomaly. That was 10 billion pesos anomaly, no? Involved yan po, worth 10 billion. But this time around po, dito sa flood control projects, anomalous projects po, this is, we see the involvement or worth of, sabihin natin, 100 billion pesos po. And this time around po, it's not only government servants involved in the malpractices po, no? Malpractices or sabihin natin corrupt dealings. Hindi lang ang business sector and the government departments or agencies po. But this time around po, na-involve na po ang mga legislators, ang mga lawmakers natin po, elected lawmakers natin, mga congressmen, and even names of senators were mentioned in this, sabihin natin, record-breaking anomaly dyan po sa Pilipinas or sa nation natin, which we call the Philippines. So it means, wag natin matakot. I am encouraging po lahat ng mga Filipinos po, be it in the Philippines or dyan po, or tayo dito sa labas ng Pilipinas, let us not be afraid. Don't be afraid to participate in this very big rally that we are going to see come Sunday, September 21. But before going or touching more on this thing po, sa rallies sa September 21 po, let me share with you first po itong sabihin natin news regarding si Inday Sara Duterte, ang budget ng Office of the Vice President. Let me share you a story which I got it from the Philstar is another legit or sabihin natin mainstream media po dyan sa Pilipinas. And the title of this or the heading of this news article is VP Sara shows up alone at OVP budget hearing, waives parliamentary courtesy. Nandito po ang detalles. Listen to this. Vice President Sara Duterte waived the tradition of being excused from answering questions on her office budget during the House of Representatives deliberation on the proposed 2026 budget today or Tuesday, September 16. The move opened the floor for lawmakers to question Duterte and her office in detail, breaking from the long-standing practice of sparing top officials from direct interpellation during budget hearings. Two members of the minority had queued up to ask Duterte questions about the Office of the Vice President's budget today or Tuesday. Makabayan Bloc member Representative Antonio Tino of ex-teachers and Representative Rene Co of the Kabataan Party list po. Yon ang dalawang representative who asked questions dyan po during the deliberation of the budget for the Office of the Vice President po. Maganda po. I watch it. I monitor the hearing, the proceedings po. And it runs smoothly. It runs smoothly po. Orderly po. No? Orderly. The Office of the Vice President is seeking 902.8 million for 26, higher than its 2025 budget of 744 million. Pasado na po in less than 1 hour, they already passed ang budget ni Inday Sara Duterte, no? Ni Inday Sara Duterte. But let me share you a video clip po, no? Kasi during the time si Representative Antonio questions si Inday Sara Duterte on her several trips abroad. Several trips abroad. So nandito po ang reply ni VP Sara po regarding itong sabihin natin query of Representative Antonio. Let's listen to this po. Sandali, ha? Sandali. Alright. Nandito po.
And so on. Yes. We'll start with July 2024. So, number one, under the Civil Service Commission rules, there is no allotted leave for the President and Vice President. We cannot both file a leave. So the only thing that I need when I travel overseas is a travel authority from the Office of the President. All my travels were issued travel authority by the Office of the Vice President. And this implies that all these trips were approved by the Office of the Vice President. So, from July 2024, I went to Germany. In December 2024, I went to Denmark. In January 2025, I went to Japan. In the third and fourth week of January, I went back to Japan. In February of third week and last week of February, I went back to Japan. On March, I went to Hong Kong. On March, I went to the Netherlands. On May, I went to Qatar and the Netherlands. On June, I went to Vietnam, Cambodia, and Malaysia. On June, I went to Australia. On July, I went to the Netherlands and the Republic of Korea. And very recently, from August to September, I went to Kuwait, the Netherlands, France, and Belgium. And number three, no public funds were used for all my travels. I did not charge representation. I did not charge tickets. I did not charge per dime for all my travels in the Office of the Vice President. So if you can see in the breakdown of the budget of travel for Office of the Vice President, you can see that there was a zero amount for the Vice President.
Alright, yun po. Narinig natin po si Inday Sara Duterte answering the question of Representative Antonio when Representative Antonio asked her to clarify on ang query na po regarding ang mga travels ni Inday Sara Duterte abroad, no? Abroad and of course local trips po. So klaro po. First thing first, sabi ni Inday Sara Duterte or si Vice President Sara Duterte, na first thing first, there is no such thing as leave for the President and the Vice President po. All they need only is if they want to do a trip, be it personal or official, no need to file a leave of absence, no? Medyo na mali yata yun na si Inday Sara Duterte when you say she has to get the approval coming from the office of the Vice President. In fact, it was wrong. She corrected it po. Sabi, the correct office dyan po is the office of the President po. Kasi second lang siya po. She has to get the approval from the President. So, walang problema. She got it. Every trip, nakuha niya yun po yung approval from from the President, President Ferdinand Marcos, and she made it very clear that she did not use on her travel po ang pera ng gobyerno. No? That was her personal money to spend ang mga travels na po, except kung official yun po, no? Except kung official trips yun po. Yung mga hindi official po, lahat daw po, sabi niya, she did not use government's money or pera ng bayan. Klarong-klaro yun po. No? Klarong-klaro yun po. So, alright, yan po ang maganda. What happens sa budget hearing? Wala tayong problema sa budget hearing po, and saludo din ako po sa mga congressmen po because they did it in a proper way po. No? Wala masyadong gulo, not like what happened last year po. What happened. But before the opening of the budget hearing this morning, si Representative, who is the Deputy Chairman of the Budget Committee, si Representative Jose Alvarez also made it very clear po na last week, postponement of the budget hearing of the Office of the Vice President po was not because of Inday Sara failed to physically come and attend the budget hearing po. He said it was he himself, si Representative Alvarez, was the one who advised ang mga tao dyan po sa Office of the Vice President who turned up dyan po sa budget hearing before the budget hearing started. He was the one who advised na huwag na tayo ituloy since the Vice President already assured him that he will be or she will be attending the next scheduled hearing, and that is today po. No? So, nangyari yun po. So, everything is clear. Walang maraming question yan po sa clarification ni Representative Alvarez. Si Representative Alvarez was the former governor of Palawan, and before the election po, he was the congressman. Diyan po sa District 1 yata yun po, sa Palawan din po. And ngayon, as a congressman pa rin. So, alright. Now, let's talk about itong, sabi natin, September 21 appointment or rally po. Now, expected po, it will be a big rally. It will be a big rally po. Huwag natin po matakot. Do not be afraid to participate in the rally on September 21 po on Monday, on Sunday po, no? On Sunday. We are going to see two organized big rallies on Sunday dyan po sa Manila. One will be held at the People's Park. That will be in Luneta, Luneta Park po. And the other one will be dyan po sa Ezra Shrine, sa Ezra Shrine. Now, dyan sa Luneta Park, they call it as Billion People Rally. Billion People Rally dyan po sa Luneta, which is scheduled to start at 9 a.m. And the organizer is requesting ang mga participants, those who will attend the rally po, kung pwede lang daw po, use black shirt. Kaya nga sabi nila, itim rally ito. Itim rally. And of course, ang shoutout nila po is itigil na ang korupsyon. Itigil na ang korupsyon. Wala ito sa politika, itigil na ang korupsyon. everybody, those who believe na kailangan na tayo mga Filipino to go out and fight, corruption po, let the government knows, saka mga the people involved in the corruption po, that galit na tayo, disappointed tayo, galit na tayo po, and we want them to be put in jail. We are shouting for justice and accountability. Wear tayo po ng black shirt. At 9 o'clock yun. Later on, I will talk more on this, sabihin natin, billion people rally. Okay, in the afternoon, at 2 a.m., at 2 p.m., mayroon na naman po ibang grupo. Ang Maisuk is there. They will be holding another rally po at 2 p.m. dyan po sa Extra Shrine. Extra Shrine po, and they are calling it Trillion People Rally. Trillion People Rally. So mayroon tayo sa Luneta, billion, dito po, trillion. What is their shout? Stop corruption. Graft and corruption. Fight against graft and corruption po. Yun po. Walang politiko, walang political color dito po. Lahat ito po tungkol sa corruption. Tungkol sa corruption. Bangon na, Pilipino. Bangon. Let us rise up. Let us wake up. Ako mismo po, I am one person who agree with this kind of I will support, and I'm supporting this kind of rally po. Kasi pagod na tayo po, kawawa na tayo. Mga kababayan ko dito sa Malaysia, dito sa Sabah, kawawa tayo po, we are paying taxes. Nagbabayad tayo ng tax po. Tapos saan nagpunta ang tax natin po? Sa mga corrupt people, corrupt government servants, corrupt government officials, corrupt politicians, corrupt contractors. Grabe ito po. It's about time na bangon na tayo. Let us rise up and say no to corruption. Tama na po. Kawawa ang, hindi lang tayo, kawawa. Kawawa naman po if we are not going to stop this unhealthy activity po. Kawawa talaga po ang mga anak natin. The next generation po. Tuloy-tuloy na ito po. In fact, this corruption, hindi ito bago sa Pilipinas po. By decades na po. Kaya nga, tingnan natin po. Did you notice? Wala tayong progreso. Mayroon man, but hindi kagaya sa mga ibang nasyon. Mabilis ang progreso nila po. Sa atin, hindi. Dahil sa corruption po. Dahil sa corruption. Don't worry. This will be a peaceful. Let us all pray. This will be a peaceful rally. Hindi naman tayo known sa mundo that when we do rally, it is bloody. I'm not putting down ang Indonesia, ang Nepal, o dyan po sa France. But ang mga Filipino, we have proven twice already po ang People's Power 1 and 2. Not even a drop of blood dropped when we did People's Power 86. People's Power 1 in 1986 and People's Power 2. So this time around, let's go on for the People's Power 3 kung necessary po. But let's always put it in mind na it should be a peaceful one. And no less than our President, si Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, siya mismo po, just recently, siya mismo po, came out openly and say, okay lang sa kanya. Let the people come out and express ang anger, ang disappointment ng mga Filipinos po against itong mga corrupt people. Corrupt Filipinos, corrupt kababayan. Sabi nga niya po, excuse me, I don't know how sincere he is, but this is what it came out from his mouth. from the horse's mouth. Sabi niya, kung hindi lang siya presidente po, he will also participate sa demonstration or sa rally po. Ha? He will also participate. So, huwag natin matakot. Nandyan mga pulis po, nandyan mga sundalo po. Ha? And anything, if we notice any individual or group of people trying to sabotage ang rally natin po, please immediately report them to the proper authorities po. By doing so po, we are not only helping ourselves, helping encounter property damages po, or loss of precious lives, but we are helping the entire country po. We are helping the Philippines, ang bayan natin po. Anyway, before I will give you more details regarding the upcoming rally, now let me share with you. Ito po. Let me share with you. Saan na yun, ha? Let me share with you itong recent statement of President Bongbong Marcos po tungkol sa mga rally-rally po.
Is just about to begin its work. Protest actions have already been mounted and more are being organized. The ones on the 21st are expected to be big. Is this a cause of concern for you that it might potentially snowball into something similar to what happened in Nepal or Indonesia?
Well, that is only if we don't do anything about it. Look, what we have found, you have to remember, I brought this up. And it is my interest that we find the solution to what has become a very egregious problem. And since this has all been exposed, well, it's actually known to many people, but it has now been exposed to the general public. Do you blame them for going out into the streets? If I wasn't president, I might be out in the streets with them. So, you know, of course, they're enraged. Of course, they're angry. I'm angry. We should all be angry. Because what's happening is not right. So, yes, express it. You come, you make your feelings known to these people and make them answerable for the wrongdoings that they have done. Palaman ninyo ang sentimento, palaman ninyo kung paano nila kayo sinaktan, kung paano kayo ninakawan nitong mga ito. Palaman ninyo sa kanila, sigawan ninyo, lahat, gawin ninyo, mag-demonstrate. Just keep it peaceful. Kasi pagka hindi na peaceful, mahirap na yan. The police will have to do its duty to maintain peace and order. But to show that you are enraged, to show that you are angry, to show that you are disappointed, to show that you want justice, to show that you want fairness, what's wrong with that? I want to show that there is justice. I want to show that there is fairness. I want to hold these people accountable just like they do. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Not one bit.
Alright, narinig natin po si President Bongbong Marcos himself encouraging ang mga Filipinos, tayo po, to go out, show ang anger natin, show ang disappointment natin. See? Sa Sunday, September 21. So let's do it. Let's do it once and for all po para matapos na po itong problema natin, graft and corruption po. Para maka-move on na tayo po. We can go up already po. Yun mga corrupt po, ikulong natin po. And itong due process, this is one thing. Isang bagay pa po, itong due process po. Let us say no to selective due process. Nakita natin po itong expose, flood control projects po. Nandyan na mga ebidensya, nandyan na po, klarong-klaro na po, na they are in cahoots, they're involved, itong mga opisyales ng Department of Public Works and Highways, they collect billions of money. They go to the casino, play every day, if not, every day ba yun? Yeah. But, spend money, people's money, lose and win. You just imagine po. Tapos tayo mga poor Filipinos po, no? Paying taxes po. We are suffering. While sila po, they're enjoying life at the expense of us. Ang mga anak nila po, nepo babies po, studying abroad, enjoying life. Tayo, we are also abroad, but we are working hard, sacrificing, leaving behind our, sabihin natin, loved ones in the Philippines temporarily, hoping that they will be enjoying better facilities, public facilities, better future. And at the same time, directly or indirectly, through our remittances, we are helping the government. Unfortunately po, ito pala mga taxes natin po, it goes to the wrong people. Ano kaya? Yeah. Ano kaya? Kung ang mga tao now will say, we will not pay the taxes. I know it will not happen. Kasi hindi naman walang konsensya mga Filipino. No? It will not happen. But what if it happened? Dahil nakita tayo po, mga taxpayers, na itong pera natin po only goes to a certain group of people. Certain group of people. Yun po. Alright, let's talk about the September 21. September 21, billion people rally and trillion people rally. Okay, sa Luneta po, kailangan you use ang black color shirt. Bring your own food. Hindi ito libre po, kayo lang, because it is our obligation po. It is our obligation. Let's be united and let's not talk about expenses here. Once and for all po, sakripisyo natin po, and if we will solve this problem po, then our life will be better. In case of rain, pwede bring your own umbrellas, payong, or kapote, or whatever. Whatever po. Just in case umuulan. Diyan po sa Luneta. Sino-sino po ang mga grupo expected to participate dito po sa 9 a.m. Luneta gathering po? Yan po, mga religious group. They already confirmed. Mga padre, mga madre, pastor, any religious groups are welcome, and some of them or several of them have already confirmed their participation to the organizers. And of course, mga NGOs, mga non-governmental organizations dyan po sa Pilipinas, they also confirmed their participation. Mga estudyante po, schools, universities, they will be participating po dyan sa Luneta. Itong two rallies natin po. They will be participating. So, we are expecting a big crowd. Some even NGOs will be giving out free transportation po. Siguro mayroon din yung mga tao will be giving free water. But anyway, wag na tayo asahan po na free food, free everything. No po. It is our obligation as a Filipino po. We have to go out. Yung mga tao may sakit, mga buntis, mga disabled, wag na po. Don't force yourself to attend the rally on Sunday. Stay at home, but pray. Continue to pray. It is through prayers that will be successful. God will always listen our prayers for as long as it is good for everybody. Nandiyan na po. ang Panginoon natin po, huwag natin kalimutan. Ha? For the safety, security. When it comes to security-wise, nandyan na po mga police. I suppose, since this is a big event, a gathering, mayroon din mga sundalo po. No? May mga sundalo. No? Huwag lang sana po, marami pang sundalo at sa mga pulis kaysa mga tao. Kaysa mga tao po, no? Huwag lang sana po. No? Let us be united. Let us show our force. It is only through showing our force that our voice will be loudly heard by the authorities concerned, by the people concerned. No? Alright. Sa Ezra Shrine, at 2 p.m. yun po, mag-start sa Sunday. Now, yes, ano yung kulay nila? Puti. Ha? Use white color shirt. White. So, yun na nga, black and white pala ito, no? Walang green, walang yellow, walang blue. Walang politika ito po. Black and white lang ito po. Either you are supporting the fight against corruption or you are not supporting the fight against corruption. No? So, for those who want to attend itong rally dyan po sa Ezra Shrine, use white shirts. Or kulay ng damit natin po kung pwede puti. It will start at 2 p.m. At 2 p.m. po. And let's make it, sabihin natin, peaceful. And we were made to understand, bakit daw? Ang question dyan, bakit dalawa? Hindi pwede isa lang. Because Luneta is a big place. No? Can accommodate, I think, more than 1 million people. No? Can accommodate 1 million people po. So, bakit dalawa pa? Kailangan man dalawa? So, I was made to understand, and based on interviews by the organizers, dyan po sa Pilipinas of lately po, they were saying, because, okay, there are areas, ang Luneta malapit sa mga university schools dyan po sa Manila, and NGOs, no? It will be very convenient for them po, no? Mga bata, no? Mga youngsters, no? They can go to Luneta. While ito naman sa EDSA, hindi naman, not exactly meant for senior citizens po, no? But they are expecting more senior citizens will be attending the rally in EDSA. Although, after the rally dyan po sa Luneta, then mga organizers and mga participants are welcome, or mga organizers will be joining the rally dyan sa EDSA at 2 p.m. And the participants in Luneta, they are invited, welcome to also attend the rally dyan po sa Ezra Shrine. Yon po, no? And that is the reason behind why dalawa tayong grupo, or venues itong September 21 rally. September 21 is a significant day po because it is the we will be celebrating the anniversary of martial law po. Remember, si Marcos Sr. Proclaimed martial law sa Pilipinas po in 1972, if I'm not mistaken. In 1972 po. No? So we are going to celebrate the anniversary of martial law. And timing na po. No? Timing na po. Itong rallies, scheduled rallies po sa Sunday. So, okay, what are the do's and don'ts? Do's and don'ts, according to, I would try to remember lang po, no? I won't be able to remember all, but mga importante, lang po, things I want to emphasize dito po sa programa natin. Now, participants, people who want to participate in these two rallies po, please do not bring pictures, placards of politicians, because this is not a political rally. sabi ang mga organizers. Wala po. You cannot bring the a picture of Senator Jingoy Estrada, Senator Joel Villanueva, other politicians po. You cannot even, you're not even encouraged to bring a placard saying, bring home Duterte. Kasi political yan po. No? Political yan po. So, yun po, hindi pwede. Huwag na tayo put political color sa rally na ito po. In other rallies, political rallies, pwede na yan po. Pero this time around, let us be united. Show that we are fighting for justice and accountability. We are fighting for stop corruption. Bangon na. Itigil na ang corruption sa Pilipinas. Yun talaga ang mensahe ng rally. Now, wala pang information because I received some messages po na kung mga members ng INC will also be participating. So far, wala pa tayong official statement coming from the authorities of the Iglesia ni Cristo. Iglesia ni Cristo po. About ang Iglesia ni Cristo is encouraging ang mga members nila to join the rally. To join the rally po. Let's see, maybe anytime this week, before the weekend po, siguro may announcement na po. So don't believe on fake news po because lumabas na po the other day ang fake news saying that ang INC daw po is encouraging ang warning or appealing mga INC members not to participate. No such thing po. No such thing according to the INC authorities po. Wala pang statement po. So, let us wait. Let us wait po kung may official statement ang INC. But definitely po, Definitely po, this will be a big crowd. This will be a big crowd. Okay? Alright. So, ito po ang we will try to make it sure that this will be a peaceful one. Be careful po. Mayroon siguro may ibang grupo dyan po, like the communist group, NPA siguro po. They will take advantage of the crowd and create chaos. Ingat tayo po. We are here to show our anger against corruptions, against graft and corruptions po, and malpractices po, both in the private and government sector. So, ingat talaga tayo po para wala tayong problema po. Properties will not be damaged, lives will not be lost, victory will be on us. And nasabi ni President Bongbong Marcos Jr., kung hindi lang daw siyang presidente, siya mismo po will also attend the rally. Let's see po. Let's see. Alright? So, ito po. This is what I want to share with you dito po sa programa natin sa Nick Talk, Video Talk with Nico. And of course, it all came out because of the revelation of President Bongbong Marcos Jr. po regarding ang flood control projects po. And of course, mayroon na tayo po, si President Bongbong Marcos has created a independent commission for infrastructure. This commission will investigate thoroughly the controversy or the anomalies flood control projects, po, involved ang Department of Public Works and Highways, ang contractors, and politicians or legislators po. And ongoing pa rin po ang Blue Ribbon Committee, po, who's also investigating this issue. Earlier, mayroon na 3 hearings under the leadership or chairmanship of Senator Rodante Marcoleta, But because there is a change of administration sa Senado po, now it is being spearheaded by Senator Ping Lacson. And the support for the hearing will be held on Thursday po. On Thursday, September 18, if I'm not mistaken, the date is correct. September 18 po. No? And ang House of Representatives, mayroon silang TRICOM also doing this investigation. Now, there is a question. Sabi nila, itong Blue Ribbon Committee, spearheaded by the former chairman, si Rodante Marcoleta po, conducted 3 hearings. Any updates, any recommendations from the side of Rodante Marcoleta? 3 hearings daw po. Was it wasted? Ang time was wasted? Time and effort wasted? Or what? Now, let me share with you ang sagot ni Senator Rodante Marcoleta when it comes to this issue po. Whether mayroon na ba sila nag-prepare or mayroon na ba mga recommendations despite the 3 hearing lang sila po. Now, let me share this thing to you po. Para at least klaro, mas disente na po lahat. No? Na hindi wasted ang time ng mga tao, hindi wasted ang time ng mga senators natin po doing the investigation. So let's listen to Senator Rodante Marcoleta as the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee. And he was being replaced now by Senator Ping Lacson. Let's listen to this.
In aid of legislation po, ang tinitingnan namin yung sum total po ng pagsasabi nila at pagdedeklara nila before the committee. Halimbawa po ngayon, para ipakita ko lang sa inyo, ano na po ang naisip naming legislative measures. Sa 3 hearings po na nagawa ng Blue Ribbon Committee, halos 14 na po na legislative measures ang aming naiisip na i-propose. Unang-una, amendment to the Procurement Law, Republic Act 9184 as amended by Republic Act 12009. Ano po ang gagawin doon? Yung transparency and monitoring po, lahat ng mga magre-require ng digital geotagging, drone monitoring at satellite validation, kailangan na meron na po yan. May accountability and sanctions. Merong risk management na amendment po nitong ating procurement law. Number 2, amendment of the anti-graft law. Ito po ay mag-i-include ang additional penalty, perpetual blacklisting in case of corporations or entities involved in corrupt practices or plunder. Number 3, amendment to the contractor's licensing law. Ito ng PICAP. Isasama dyan ang divestment requirement, conflict of interest, provisions and penalties. Ito po yan. Number 4, amendment to the witness protection law. Dito pa lang po kailangan may amendment na po Number 5, amendment to the AMLA. Nakikita po ninyo pati yung ating mga casino ginagamit na laundry areas na po yan. So mandatory na pre-award vetting ng contractors, subcontractors for government infrastructure projects exceeding 50 million. At marami pa po ito. Amendment to the Securities Regulation Code, RA 8799. Marami pong dapat na ayusin dyan. Katulad po ng mga yung Securities and Exchange Commission will require sworn ultimate beneficial owner in declaration to set up beneficial ownership verification and blah blah blah, pati yung PhilJeps, allowing SEC to coordinate with DPWH and PICAP. Number 7, ito po yung False Claim Act. Ito po yung writ of quitam na pwedeng gamitin ng isang ordinaryong tao ang kanyang power na siya na mismo ang magabla. Dahil sa nangyari po na lalong lumaki po yung problema natin sa corruption. Imagine po ninyo, panahon ni Napoles, 10 billion lang ang pinag-uusapan natin. Anong nangyari po? Naging amateur po si Napoles. Ngayon po, 100 billions na po ang kinukulimbat sa ating kabangbayan. Kaya kailangan na po lahat ito. Number 8, Whistleblowers Protection Act. Susuportahan po natin ito. Number 9, Heavy Equipment Registration and Leasing Act. Number 10, kailangan meron po tayong Flooding Integrated Master Plan Act. Number 11, i-amend po natin ang Ombudsman Act kasi wala siyang masyadong ngipin. Halimbawa, i-amend natin ang Section 15 to include recovery or consideration made to any government official or employee regardless of the nature of their position, whether appointed or elected. Ito po yung isa pang maganda. Amend Section 21 that despite exception to the disciplinary authority of the Ombudsman, a recommendation for immediate action shall be made by the Ombudsman to the appropriate Ethics Committee in cases involving members of Congress upon establishment of the sufficiency of the complaint. Kasi sa present law ng Ombudsman, hindi po kasali ang members ng Congress. Number 12, amendments to the Government Auditing Code. Yung COA dapat, wala pong ngipin ng COA eh. Kung titignan nyo, Presidential Decree 1445, ang sinasabi dyan, kailangan preventive ang audit. Paano kayo makakapag-prevent po ng pagnanakaw sa mga ating mga projects at sa lahat ng gawain? Kung post-audit lahat. Nakulimbat na yung pera. Pagkatapos mag-audit siya, post-audit, sasabihin niya, notice of disallowance. Nakakita na po ba kayo na pagkakataon o kahit anuman, sa lahat ng notice of disallowance na inisyo ng COA, maliban lang sa nag-volunteer na magsoli ng paunti-unti, yung malakihan po na notice of disallowance, meron pa pong napakulong. Meron silang nasingil. Meron po ako na-monitor 100 billion sa SBMA. Naging final and executory, umabot ng Korte Suprema. Final and executory. Hindi pa po nakolekta ng COA hanggang ngayon. Walang kang ngipin-ngipin. Ito po yung gusto naming gawin lahat. After 3 investigations, pati Civil Service Commission po, kailangan po nating i-amend na yung sinasabi na 6713, yung Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards of Public Officials. Halimbawa po yung Section 8. Lagyan natin ng provision that the public has the right to know the assets, liabilities, net worth, and financial and business interests of any public official or employee, including those of their spouses or unmarried children under 18. Ito po importante dyan. However, public access of these SAL-N documents remain limited. Sa ngayon, kaya pinopropose natin that the SAL-N of members of Congress be made available to the public through the official website of the Senate and the House of Representatives. Para sa ganun, makuha nyo na kagad, hindi susulat ka pa. Kung ayaw niya, hindi mo rin makukuha. Very, very limited ang access po ninyo. Pang-14, i-abolish po natin yung River Basin Control Office. Ito po yung parkingan po ng mga pinoplot na mga opisyalis na wala namang ginagawa. Isip-isipin po ninyo, 2006 nagawa itong opisinang ito under the DNR. Siya ang dapat mag-integrate ng ating 18 existing river basins in this country. Wala silang nagawa kahit isa. Puro pangwawaldas lang ng sweldo. Nagsusweldo na walang ginagawa. Ito po yung gusto namin gawin. After 3 hearings, 14 na po ang measures na naisip namin na dapat nating isulong para sa ganun itong mga nangyayaring ito. Kahit papano, ma-address na po natin lahat.
Alright, yun po, narinig natin po si Senator Rodante Marcoleta, the former chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee. Now it was being replaced by Senator Ping Lacson. Sana na po itong mga recommendations nila. After three hearings po, he will pass it to Senator Ping Lacson to consider also po. No? Kasi ang Blue Ribbon now is being chaired by Ping Lacson po. So in other words po, magaling din po si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Saludo din ako po, no? Time was not wasted, money was not wasted, and he did his job. He did his job as the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, although in a short period of time lang po. Short period of time. Anyway, yun po ang ano natin, ang updates mayroon tayo po tungkol dyan po sa Blue Ribbon Committee under the leadership of Senator Rodante Marcoleta. I just received a message po from sa followers natin dito po sa Nick Talk, Daily Talk with Nico, and they are asking, ito mga Filipinos po dito sa Sabah, they are asking, Sir, ano ba sir, kung may mga placards, posters po saying or showing the picture of Representative Saldico and Speaker Romualdez po, and placards with mga slogan dyan po, resign, Marcos resign. Pwede ba yun? Pwede ba yun? So, based on what I heard from the organizers during interviews made dyan po sa Manila by the mainstream media po, they said, walang problema yan po dahil we are talking about corruption here. We are talking about corruption here. So, involved man itong si Saldico, their name were mentioned dito po sa anomalya. Si Speaker Romualdez, also involved or mentioned ang mga pangalan nila. So, okay lang daw yan po. Pwede daw yan po. Pwede din yan po. So, klaro, klaro. And, ano mga hindi pwede maglagay sa online, sa mga Facebook po, I will try to search again po kung ano ang mga decision ng mga organizers po, Organizers po. So, for me, I think kung we want to put something sa mga Facebook natin po, sa Instagram, sa TikTok, now, wala na. Don't mix it with the political color. Lahat na po sa corruption. Ang corruption ang importante dito ngayon because this is the reason behind why we are doing this rallies po dyan sa Pilipinas. So once again, I would like to say, huwag tayo matakot po. Bangon na tayo. Let's rise up. Participate sa rally come Sunday, September 21 po. This is the opportunity, our opportunity po to send a clear message to the government. Send a clear message to the authorities concerned. Send a clear message to all the parties concerned po that we are against graft and corruption. And those involved in graft and corruption should be charged in court. There must be justice, accountability. They must pay for the crimes they have committed po. Hindi lang selective. Hindi selective. We don't want selective due process. We want due process po. Kailangan yan po. Hindi lang due process given to the rich people. But due process also to the ordinary Filipinos po. Yon. That is the message. And I will continue to advocate for participation of itong sabihin natin September 1 rally po, ang billion people rally at saka ang trillion people rally. Itigil na natin ang korupsyon dyan po sa Pilipinas. So, with this, siguro hanggang dito na lang po ang Nick Talk, Daily Talk with Nico natin po dito sa September 16 episode natin po. And I will continue to give you mga updates po. Sana lang po, in the past a few minutes or several minutes po, I managed to give you the latest updates po tungkol sa Pilipinas. And I managed in one way or the other, also I managed to sabihin natin po, update you of what really is happening in the Philippines. So with this, once again, si Nico Fabian would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Huwag na natin kalimutan, come Sunday po, come Sunday, September 21, go out sa street and join the rally dyan po sa Pilipinas. Mga overseas Filipino workers po, let us continue to pray. And kung pwede, participate din po tayo sa rally sa online platform natin po. Online platform natin po. So with this, Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. And I'll see you in my next episode. Take good care of yourself. Bye. And I love you.